Did you ever mix down your podcast or a YouTube video and think, that sounds a little bit too quiet, or that's way too loud? Well, I'm going to show you a quick fix, and it's a secret feature inside Premiere Pro that even I didn't know about until just a few days ago. So let me show you a podcast I'm working on in Premiere right now, and at the moment I'm pretty happy with the levels if I actually go ahead and play back a little bit. AI tools for creators. I can see that I'm picking up pretty well on the levels meters, and when I look at the video as well,
find your space.
Levels are pretty good, but of course we're always told as podcasters, YouTubers and creators in general, we need to hit loudness standards, and those are LUFS, and we need a loudness meter or some kind of AI processing for that to make your audio pop out. But actually, there's a feature in export in Adobe Premiere Pro that does it all for you. And I'd been doing this countless times in Adobe Audition, transferring all my audio over. You don't need to leave Premiere for this to work. So if you've got a video podcast like I have here, I'm just going to tag the in and out. So obviously I keep the intro and outro audio only. That's for my audio version that I'll be mixing in a second. But I'm just going to put these tags in here at the intro and the outro bit there. That's the end of the show right there. So that's an O tag. And then I'll mix the video only, go to export. And here then we look for a preset. So usually you'd go for, if this is going up to YouTube 1080p full HD, that's fine. Now you'd think loudness standards are included in this preset, but they are not, and they're so easy to switch on. All you do is go down here to effects, you pop it open, and you look right down here at the bottom for loudness normalization. I can't believe that I didn't know this existed as a secret feature inside the export screen of Premiere Pro. Now when I tick this, you get a load of like crazy things here that you think, oh my goodness, I don't know what I need to put here. It's really simple. If you're mixing to YouTube, generally you open this loudness standard up, you look for ITU here at the bottom, and a load of letters and digits I don't even want to go into, and then you simply set the target loudness to -14. That's generally the accepted loudness that you need to hit for YouTube, and that will mean your video is the same volume as the one before it and after it, and if you don't do it, YouTube will likely crush your audio on their end anyway to make sure it's loud or quiet enough. So you can do that here, hit export, and that is going to export it at exactly the right loudness. Now, it doesn't stop there. I can actually go ahead and clear the in and out, mix down the whole audio only version, because of course I do a video and an audio version of this podcast. So I now go to export, and then I look for presets. Now, this is a little more complex because of course we've got tons here. We've got an MP3, but generally if I'm exporting as a mono speech only podcast, I can create my own preset. So I'll start from the MP3 128 kbps. If I want to find it, if it's not showing up for you, you can always go to more presets here and you can do a search for MP3, see what's available. So you got a few basic ones here. So we'll use the 128 as a building block. That's actually quite good, especially for stereo podcasts. If you want to save a little bit of bandwidth, I know that a lot of the podcast hosts tend to say go for first of all, change your channels to mono, so it's speech only, you don't need stereo, and drop that down to 96. Okay, that will reduce a bit of the quality, but for most podcast listeners, that seems to be fine. It seems to be the accepted standard today. And then, yes, you will see that effects is here. It may or may not be ticked, so make sure if it's unticked, switch it on, scroll it open, and you've got a couple here. Loudness normalization is what we need. And here again, we're scrolling down to ITU as our standard. And for podcasting, now this is where it gets catchy. If it's stereo, we type -16 here, but you'll get exactly the same loudness standard, exactly the same perceived volume to the human ear if you type in -19, and then it will automatically, so -19, let me clarify, is for mono podcasts, and -16 is the number you need for stereo. -19 for mono, -16 for stereo. Both exactly the same for the end product. So once we've done that and we've got -19, we hit export. It's going to grab the audio and export it. And I'll show you this because I was in Adobe Audition earlier playing with this. Here in Adobe Audition, I've got two separate mixdowns. This is my audio version of my podcast with no loudness applied. And you can see it's kind of all over the place. And then if I go to the loudness at -19 LUFS, you can see it's been nicely normalized. So that's a difference there just on the export from Premiere Premiere Pro, if I drag both of these into the Match Loudness window here, if it's not available for you in Audition, just go to Window and look for Match Loudness to open it up. It's going to analyze the loudness, and look, my original mixdown is minus 22 LUFS, and this is minus 16 because you'll see it's a stereo podcast. If I were to run this as a mono through Premiere, obviously this will come up as minus 19. So it's a fantastic feature that's hidden away in the export screen of Adobe Premiere Pro. Whether you're exporting for YouTube, another video platform, or as an audio-only podcast, just twirl down Effects, look for Loudness Normalization, and your podcast or YouTube video will never be too loud or too quiet ever again. If you really liked this video, I've got other videos that you can find on your screen here that tell you all about loudness and why it's important for you as a content creator. Click on them and go watch them now.